In this video, we will take a look at students co-creating their learning path in Ms. Brewer's literature class.
Persuasion. Okay, so what we're going to be tracking is one character's persuasion. But what we need to talk about first is this word right here that's in blue. What I would like for you to do really quickly is either using the power of the internet or your own brains, I would like for you to discuss what does critique mean. Okay, so talk about it. Have a couple things in mind.
After establishing a clear learning objective or goal or outcome for Acts 2 through 4, Ms. Brewer gives her students some buy-in, allowing them to connect with that challenging performance verb of critique. After giving students time to talk, now Ms. Brewer is listening into their voices as the groups share what synonyms they use to describe the word critique.
Nitpicking. Okay, what else? Does it mean look at positives and negatives? What does it mean? Does it mean look at positives, negatives, both of them?
Oh.
Yeah. And I'm going to add one from my first spell that I really liked. They said to give feedback, which I thought was interesting.
And here we still see Ms. Brewer, the teacher, putting her voice into it as well.
All right. So what we're going to do next.
Ms. Brewer is now going to lead her students in a co-created activity.
So what we're going to do next, and we're going to be using the whiteboard, like the big one, and we're going to be using large Post-its. What I would like for your team to do is you are going to design a document that you think would be ideal to accomplish this goal as we move forward. Now, keep in mind, you're just going to be doing this for one character as a class, and just to kind of help you guide it, the play's 4 acts. What by persuasion do I mean? What 3 terms that we've been talking about a lot?
Ms. Brewer is once again
Keep those in mind too.
directing her students to high expectations
Items, be creative with this.
while keeping focused on the content academic standard.
Stuff in a good way. So, keeping this definition in mind and this goal in mind, moving forward, knowing you're going to have to do this for the rest of the play, I want you to design a document that you think would be splendid.
After sending her students on their way, you can see many students choosing different environments to work in, being able to, even just little choice like selecting the color they're writing with or the style that they're going to be presenting this information in. If anything, it just gave buy-in to the whole experience of, okay, I know my big goal. Now while I'm reading, how am I gonna get there? What was interesting to notice was just the different formats students used. For example, you can see this group of students using more of a web chart, probably more just visual learners as opposed to the last 2 groups where it's more linear and a typical chart-like form they might fill out. And just again to take some time to remind us of what those big goals are, what the big goal was of this learning unit. While her students are reading through The Crucible, and they just finished up Act 1, getting a background of the setting, the characters, and some of the expositional plot, what's happened leading up to this, and the setting of these trials that will be happening, to lead her students into the rest of the play, Acts 2 through 4. Ms. Brewer sets a challenging goal, looking at the standard. They know they're in an argument unit, and in combining these, using a higher level thinking question. We took a look at Bloom's, looked at the evaluate or analyze section of Bloom's and pulled a word out. The word that really stuck out to Ms. Brewer was critique. And so to be able to frame a goal that would show her students at the end of these acts, this is what I want you to be able to do. And the buy-in up top with getting them to put in some of their own words to show their understanding of what this goal is really asking of them is a huge win.
I don't know. It probably just got some of the glue on it.
Each of the groups posted their chart in the front of the room, and a big feedback session was held, giving feedback to each of these different charts, giving their input to see what pieces would be best for us to include in a class path to get to this learning goal through Acts 2 through 4.
One person or two people, I don't care, just to kind of explain it, like what are we looking at, and then we'll talk about like what we like about all of them, and then eventually we will be kind of combining them.
Students were given the floor to support why they made the decisions they did for each of the graphic organizers they created.
Right now, but it would be landscape, so it would be a bit more like spread out, and it's pretty much like a flowchart kind of idea.
Yeah.
So we have the first thing in the middle, separated into 4 acts.
Students included content words like ethos, logos, and pathos central to the overall goal of persuasion.
The speech bubbles would be bigger when it's landscape.
Yeah, so it would be landscape, not portrait.
The class was given the opportunity to take a look at each of the graphic organizers the groups created and pick the strongest pieces from each, creating one document that would be used throughout the course of reading Acts 2 through 4 that contains some of the strongest ideas in the room. And so as the students take a look at this document that they will use as they read and chart the persuasion of a character throughout these acts, they have total buy-in because each of their voices is in this document that is before you and that will be before the students through every subsequent page of the Crucible. Thanks for listening.